It's time I should take every single word you say.
Welcome to Indie Tea Talk. I'm Adam, and today I'm your only host, as we've got Kitty in the live room.
Hey.
Tune in as we explore unique melodies, chat with talented artists, and create a space where you can discover your favourite artists like never before. In today's episode, we're thrilled to have the wonderfully talented Kitty VR joining us, not as a host, but as this week as a guest. Hailing from the charming city of York, Kitty is not only our esteemed co-host, but also a talented musician making waves in the indie music scene. With her captivating vocals, her introspective songwriting, Kitty has crafted a unique sound that resonates deeply with her listeners. In this week's episode, we delve into her musical journey, exploring her influences, her experiences, and her inspirations that have shaped her artistry. So, please join me in welcoming Kitty VR into the studio.
Hello.
Hello.
You
How
okay?
are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, very good. It's nice that we're sat inside in this lovely windowless studio. Well, it's
sunny out there.
Yeah, cracking the flags outside.
I've got all the light I can get in here, though.
Yeah, some prime vitamin D making tackle in here, aren't there?
Feels weird being sat this far away from you, actually.
Yeah. Well, this is the first episode that's potentially going to be out, or one of the first ones. But we've also already recorded quite a few where you're sat in the same room. But today it's through the glass, I'm afraid.
Through the glass.
So anyway, growing up in York must have had quite a significant influence on your musical journey. Can you kind of share some of the fond memories and experiences you've got from your upbringing that shaped your passion for music?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we're really lucky to have York as musicians from York. We're really lucky to have that kind of community. I feel like in some of cities music can be quite competitive, or I don't know, there's more to it. Whereas in York, I genuinely feel like I've always been met with open arms and supported by the local community of musicians.
It's got quite a family vibe, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's cute.
Everyone's kind of bands together. And, if you need a bit of equipment or you need a hand.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just a quick...
The first open mic I ever went to actually was... I'm not sure if you've heard of Sir Dave Ward McLean.
Oh, of course.
That's what he's called in the York music scene, but he's an incredible musician, an angry old Scottish man, which I'm sure he'd love to hear.
Yeah, with some wonderful tales.
But yeah, he really helped me. I played open mics when I was quite young, and he really helped me. I think nerves have been a big thing, like a running theme in my kind of music career, if you'd call it that. But he really helped me with a lot of those things and kind of helped me flourish into a performer rather than just a musician. So yeah, I've had lots of local support.
You mentioned being inspired by a variety of artists. Can you pinpoint a specific moment or a song from one of your influences that made you realise that you wanted to pursue music?
Oh, a specific song. I mean, I'm going to say that classic Radiohead, because I absolutely love them. Vocally, probably... I don't know, I'm inspired by a lot of different music, but vocally probably the thing that kick-started my musical career was Jeff Buckley. I think he's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, loads of people, and still growing with inspiration. Yeah. But I had a weird upbringing in terms of music taste, because my dad loves hip hop, my stepmom loved heavy metal and Irish folk music, my stepdad loves Oasis, and my mum loves ABBA and 70s classics. Anyway, I kind of grew up with kind of weird mix of styles. One of the first covers I ever learnt on guitar was Toxicity by System of a Down, which is obviously a really heavy song, but I think I kind of found my style through finding songs that I loved and then making them my own, and then obviously writing from there. But yeah, so a weird kind of variety of inspirations. But I'd say vocally, my biggest inspiration originally was Jeff Buckley. Not that I can ever sing like him because he's a legend.
Yeah.
And then kind of stylistically quite inspired by Radiohead.
Yeah.
Although the first CD I ever owned, fun fact, was Avril Lavigne.
Was it?
Yeah, I love Avril Lavigne. I think she's an absolute icon. So yeah, that's my inspiration in a nutshell.
Well, my I can remember the first tape cassette that I ever had, and that was as bad no witness to my current musical likes. It was Robbie Williams and Angels. I remember.
Oh my!
I had
God.
like a little leather red case that you could put your tape cassettes in.
That is disgusting.
It was awful. Yeah. When it comes to writing and composing music, do you find that your surroundings and environment play a big role in sparking your creativity? And how do you maintain consistency in creating your creative output? Or do you maintain consistency in it?
I don't necessarily track my maintenance of consistency, but I do. I think there is quite a lot of consistency in terms of my way of writing is quite natural.
Yeah.
I think this is something we've come across very different approaches through the sessions that we've done.
Yeah.
But I think myself as a writer, I write when I'm influenced to write, and I write when I have something to write about. I think I'd really struggle to write a song for a project or to write a song. I don't know. I think my writing process is consistently quite natural, and I sit down to write when I'm feeling that way out.
How do you work that into like co-writing? Do you know if you're working with another
Yeah,
musician?
interestingly enough, I actually did a drum and bass song with an artist called After City based in Hull recently. And I was thinking about this because obviously I do say I write naturally, but if someone sends me a song that they want me to collaborate on, that is, I guess, a project and such. But I still, I really connected with the song he sent me. So I think that's a big thing with collaborations, in that I still have to connect with whatever I'm writing within. And I absolutely loved it. We had a day at a studio in Hull, and yeah, I do really enjoy collaborating. It's a different way of writing, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. I suppose it's difficult in any project that you work on if you're not feeling the vibe of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I suppose it's only natural that you'd struggle to create, produce creatively in a project that you just weren't fully invested in.
I guess it's the same in any passion, or I don't know, if you're a chef and you've got not the right ingredients that you want, it's hard to make something nice. So I feel like it's the same. You do have to learn to approach things still with an open mind, but just with awareness of whether you fit in within that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoy collaborating. It's something I've only really done last year and then coming into this year. But yeah, it's a different way of everything, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the performance of songs that you've produced more in the box? Because I know that more recently you were quite for your EP, you were very band oriented.
Yeah, definitely.
And before that you were singer-songwriter, and then now you're kind of going through this transition into not quite electronic, but electronic influenced music.
Well, and also just finding the whole world of production.
Yeah.
I definitely fell into that for a while. I sat and made beats. I don't think I sang for ages in lockdown, because I was learning how to produce and I really fell in love with it. But I do definitely think there have been a lot of transitions, although my style has pretty much stayed the same in terms of, stylistically my singing or my writing. I do think there have been a lot of transitions over the past few years. A huge reason for that is when after I launched the EP, absolutely thriving with the band and was absolutely loving it. And then lockdown hit. And I think a lot of bands probably fell apart in lockdown. So then I was like, right, I'm just going to learn something new, seeing as I can't play with anyone else and I can't play any gigs. So it wasn't necessarily a natural transition. It was just, what can I do while I'm not doing music, if you like. But performing my new stuff that I've produced is terrifying to me. Obviously the grand plan eventually would be to have a band to play those songs for me, or with me. But I hate technology. I mean, you know this about me anyway, but for those people who don't, I hate technology with a passion. So the fact that I'm getting on stage with a sample pad or a drum pad is insane to me. But yeah, so terrifying, but I'm enjoying it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Do you, because I know that obviously you performed at Trinity Market in Hull recently.
Yeah.
And
I love the guys in Hull.
It's an amazing setup, that.
Legends.
Absolutely.
They're legends.
But one of the things that I noticed during your performance is when it came to the songs that you were playing through your laptop and singing towards, you had to kind of caveat that to kind of authenticate it. And I found that really strange, that as musicians we have to like define what it is that you were doing.
Yeah, definitely. And almost prove yourself that's one thing I'm really worried about. Not that, I just know a lot of people who, if someone gets on stage with a laptop or a drum pad and they just press play on it like I'm doing, they're like, oh, they've just pressed play.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I did, I mean, you were at the gig in Hull, but I said on stage, I sang all the backing vocals and I made the beats and did all the 808 bass, and it's hard, isn't it? You do feel like you need some kind of not necessarily approval, but you have to tell people that you've done it all, so they don't think you're just pressing play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky one. I'll find my feet with it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm also quite an unnatural performer in terms of I've always sang with a guitar.
So
like having that taken away from me is terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm finding my feet with it.
So do you have any specific rituals or routines that help you get into the creative mindset when you're working on new material?
I would say I am not the hugest creature of habit in terms of I don't have a specific set thing that I do to write a song. But I do like to find little nuggets of things that I like and then find inspiration from there. So I would say, although there's not a definite process that I use, I do always start with something. So whether it's like a little vocal melody that I like, or something that I play on guitar, or a little synth, or even a drum beat. So I like to start with one thing that I've absolutely fallen in love with and then form something around that. Usually.
I suppose it falls back into that like organic mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
So this is I know this is your favourite question, and you've not brought anything, have you? It's show and tell, and you've not brought anything.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, am I allowed to say shit?
I think so. Marnie's already said piss. So.
Yeah, and do you know what's really bad is I've not even thought about it.
I suppose I should ask the question first before you start answering it, shouldn't I? If you were a flavour of tea, what would it be and why?
Oh, God, I've stumped it here, haven't I? I don't know. I love a red berry tea.
Any particular reason?
I just really like them. But I do like I think if I was to pair my music with the tea, I think I'd say an Earl Grey tea, because it's got like a little bit of citrusy edge, but it's also quite mellow and floral. Yeah. So if my music was to be a tea, I'd probably say Earl Grey tea. But my tea of choice is red berry tea.
Over Yorkshire tea?
Yeah, I was just thinking that probably not. Yeah, I drink. Well, no, I drink a lot of Yorkshire tea, but you probably don't have this, Adam, because I've never seen anyone drink so much Yorkshire tea. But after I've had a few, I am like, you get tea mouth, so that's when you get the red berry tea out. But
Cuts through the tea mouth, and then you're straight back into some more Yorkshire tea, aren't you?
Yes, definitely.
Oh God. Well, I think it's about time that we listen to one of your tracks.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
what have you got for us today?
So this is actually a pretty new song. Coming back to the kind of writing process, I sat and wrote this song in one evening. I think I'd gotten back from one of Laura's gigs actually, and I was feeling very inspired. But it's called Pinch of Salt. And yeah.
Lovely. Well, this is Kitty VR with A Pinch of Salt.
It's time I should take every single word you say with a pinch of salt, so I don't get stuck, or I'll throw it over my shoulder as my heart grows colder and wish for the best of love. I'm just fine, honey, I'm just fine. Don't ask me a second time. I don't wanna get teary-eyed. I said I'm just fine, honey, I'm just fine. Don't ask me a second time. I don't wanna cry. I've been thinking lately, people don't have friends, not really. They just have enemies in common. Where do we fit in all this madness? The moment has already passed us, and it seems all guns are blazing. But I'm just fine, honey, I'm just fine. Don't ask me a second time. I don't wanna get teary-eyed. I said I'm just fine, honey, I'm just fine. Don't ask me a second time. I don't wanna cry. It's time I should take every single word you say with a pinch of salt, so I don't get stuck, or I'll throw it over my shoulder as my heart grows colder and wish for the best of love.
So can you tell us a little bit about your performance anxieties?
Always.
Yeah, because I know obviously you've got you've always struggled with pre-gig nerves. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it.
Yeah, I do also feel like it's only really people that know me quite well know this. I've spoken about it on the radio before and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of people say, "Oh, really, you looked really confident up there," and I'm like, I was cacking it. Like, I was terrified. But yeah, it's something that I'm like absolutely fine to sit and play my songs and love writing. But then when it comes to performing, I'm kind of really at war with whether I'm a real musician or not, because I hate it. But I do at the same time. I'm not sure if you heard my interview with Jericho Keys on BBC Introducing, but I said there, and it's actually stayed with me, that I performing or gigging for me, I see as the childbirth effect. So, so for example, my mum has got 3 children, and probably when she had me, I'm the oldest, she was like, childbirth, that sucks. I'm not doing that again. It was horrible. And that's what I do with gigs where, I've got the lead up to it where I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be so nice. Like, there's so many lovely people going to be there, and can't wait to see the headline act perform. So, I get carried away with myself thinking it's going to be absolute bliss. And then probably the day of, I feel sick all day and I hate it. And I think, what am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? And then I get on stage and I actually have physical shakes. So then I'm like, can't even play guitar. And then I get home, and after a couple of days, I'm like, oh, that was so nice, wasn't it? Maybe I should do another gig. So that's why I think it's the childbirth effect, because, women say they're never going to have another baby, and childbirth is the worst thing, and then do it all over again.
Yeah. I like that.
Yes. So that's kind of my take on gigs. Although I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I've been given the opportunity to do some really lovely gigs, and I do love it, really.
Is there like an audience size that once it tips over?
No. Yeah, I thought that, because I really love playing the Vinyl Cafe in York.
Yeah.
And that's quite a small venue, but no. Yes,
just as bad.
Just if not worse.
Really? It's even more intimate.
Well, because you can see everyone, like at Crescent or Fulford, you can't.
Once the lights are on.
Polar Bear in Hull, like big lights like these, you can't really see people. So, I mean, obviously I'm still terrified, but I think sometimes more intimate gigs with like close family and friends as well, that I know they know I'm terrified. So, yeah.
So the thought of them knowing how scared you are makes you even more scared. Wow.
Yes, it does.
That's self-perpetuating, really, isn't it?
But yeah, it's a strange thing. I think especially, I don't know if it was a common occurrence for a lot of performers to struggle post-lockdown. We had so much time off.
Yeah.
And I did the odd live stream or whatever, but it's not the same, is it?
No.
So yeah, I think it's definitely been worse post COVID.
How were you at the Trinity Market gig? Because
I was terrified.
To me, knowing that you get these nerves, I was taken aback, because I thought, actually, is this all gone? Because you were just so calm.
No, that's the thing. I don't get, like, people say to me, "Oh, really? You didn't look nervous?" And I'm like, how did I not look nervous? Like, what I feel inside. I'm like, how did that? How? But I don't know.
Because I have seen you at gigs, and I've seen you just before you go on, and like a ghost. Do you know
my favourite story about my kind of performance anxiety is at the EP launch with my band. They were like, "Oh, it'd be cute, if we all get up and we'll get our instruments on, and then you can come out." And after, and I was stood at the side of the stage at the Crescent. There's like some little steps up to the stage, and I was stood at the bottom. And Jack, my bassist at the time, was on stage, and he was like, "Right, Kitty, we're ready for you." And I was like, I don't think we should do it, actually. Like, I don't think I can do this. And he was like, are you joking me? Like, we have to do it. The support acts have played. We're all on stage with our instruments, and we pretty much sold out the Crescent. Like, get on the stage. And I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of guess I have to. But it genuinely is that I'm just petrified, especially when they say, right, Kitty, you're ready to get on. I'm like, no, actually, I'm not ready to get on. I don't want to do this anymore.
You did spend a lot of time hiding at your EP. I do remember that. Yeah,
it was really bad. I think with the EP though, that was really bad because I actually had like post-performance anxiety. Whereas like, I'm still scared and it's done. It's over. So, but I must have just got myself so worked up about it that I still felt nervous afterwards. But yeah, it's a strange thing. Dave Warden-McLean that I spoke about earlier, he gave me some really good advice. And he said, nerves are good. Nerves are a good thing. Like, if you didn't have nerves, it would mean you didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I never want. I never want to perform and not care about what I'm performing. So I like to try and think that it just means that I care a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, speaking about your live performances, is there any specific moments or memorable incidents that have kind of impacted you as an artist? Whether it be how a performance has gone, or an audience interaction, or something along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that shape you as an artist. I think you have to go through the rubbish gigs where the sound doesn't work, or there's feedback, or nobody listens, or you know, you have to have those gigs to really appreciate the good gigs. You know, like for example, Trinity Market. That was a room full of people that, you know, could have been like chatting and eating and drinking, but I had the privilege of that room of people listening to me. So I think probably the biggest thing that shaped me is that people actually listen. Yeah. And it still surprises me every time that, you know, Max said from the sesh said after I got off the stage, he was like, mate, like you could have heard a pin drop in here, and it's a big room like that. Yeah. That's amazing. And it always makes me think like, oh, that's so lovely that like
there were people conscious of how they were walking during your set. Like yeah, because I was stood right at the back. Yeah. And you could see people getting up from the tables to go to the bar or to the food stalls and like really tentatively trying to pull the chairs out. And
oh, that's so cute. Yeah, so I think that's something that's really shaped me and maybe why I still continue to perform, of just that feeling of like people actually listening to your music, which I think I never expect to happen. Mm-hmm. And then when I play, I'm like, oh, wow, you're all really quiet. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So, but obviously then you have to have the gigs where people are rowdy or the equipment doesn't work or whatever to kind of appreciate those. So I'd say just performance in general shapes you as an artist and having the ups and downs of different kind of gigs. But yeah.
Cool. Can you give us any insights to your upcoming projects that you're excited to be working on? Or
yes, I would say I'm really excited about this track I've just done with After City in Hull. That's exciting. But also with my own stuff, just finding my feet with performing my new stuff live, and kind of working it out.
Kind of going through that beta testing sort of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's what I'm most excited about. Mm. I also think this year, especially for me, has been about coming back out into the world. And I didn't perform for a long time. Mac was saying it was a good, I want to say like 2 years since I'd even performed in Hull.
Right.
And yeah, just kind of re-entering that kind of life. But yeah, I'm excited.
Brilliant. So reflecting on your musical journey so far, if there's one piece of advice that you could give to someone that was starting their path in music, what would that be?
It's really hard. I'm still learning. I think we're all still
Oh,
learning
absolutely.
always. So it's hard to offer advice, but I would say one really big thing that I've found is finding the balance between not being too precious of your music, but also not letting anyone take anything away from you. So, you know, being open to the idea of why don't we take out this synth line? Why don't we change this melody? Or, you know, and still being open with your music. But I do think there are quite fine lines where you have to protect yourself and go with your gut. If you think something sounds good, or you like that vocal take and you want that vocal take in there, or I think it's something that I'm definitely still learning.
Protect your own individualism.
But yeah, and you know, we're all artists in our own way, and you know, no one went to Picasso. Well, they probably did actually, but as in like now when we look at Picasso's art, we're not like, oh, I really think he should have just not painted that bit green, or you know, like I just think our artistry is very precious, and we have to, although you know, ideas are always
fluid and
yeah.
changing.
I think it's just finding the balance between being open-minded but also protective and careful. But yeah, that would be my best.
Kind of go your own path, sort of thing, and
and also I just think everyone's got different tastes. Like you can't please everybody. Which is something I've kind of realized of like people aren't gonna like my music, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And people are gonna like it, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just believing in yourself and trusting yourself, going with your gut.
Oh, lovely.
But yeah,
I think that's a really good point. I think it's it's a really nice place to transition into your next track, actually.
Yes, yeah, my new stuff.
Yeah. So what's the next one that you're going to perform for us?
This one's a little bit lighter. The first song was miserable. But yeah, this is called Barca Blues. Just to validate myself, I did record everything and perform everything.
So you're just pressing play today?
Yeah, and I'm just pressing play and singing. But yeah, so it's called Barca Blues, and it's a little bit lighter. It's about, I had an amazing holiday in Barcelona with all my best mates. I've got a really nice group of friends, and we went to Barcelona and had the best time. And it's just about me getting home and being like, oh, that was so lovely. I wish I could do that all the time. So yeah, a little bit of a lighter note.
Lovely. Well, this is Kitty VR with Barca Blues.
So lush between my teeth, the kiwis are so sweet here. I never wanna leave. I got them Barca blues, Barca blues. The grass is always greener. Barca blues, Barca blues. I got them Barca blues. Feel the sand beneath my feet, the jellyfishes in the sea won't bother me or my amigos. Oh, this is such a treat. Our bodies jump into the beat. United, we are so complete. We never wanna leave here. We got them Barca blues, Barca blues. The grass is always greener. Barca blues, Barca blues. I got them Barca blues. Barca blues. I got them Barca Blues.
So how can everyone find your latest music? Where do we look? Where do we find you on your socials?
Do you know, I'd say I'm pretty terrible at my socials. Although you can find Barca Blues on SoundCloud. It's just called Barca Blues, and my name is Kitty. But that's about it. I am on YouTube. If you want any live sessions of me, there's some really nice ones, and that should be under Kitty VR, or if you search Kitty Musician Live on YouTube, it should come up. But yeah, I promise I won't suck so much anymore.
Have you got your own YouTube channel? Have you got any bits
I do,
on
but
there?
there's not loads on there. But find me. You can
from your old
find me.
stuff?
Yeah. But yeah, there's not a lot. I think there's like a video.
Oh, right, okay. And what
It's a
about...
nice one though.
Yeah, good video,
Yeah.
worth watching?
Yes,
To
it
direct some traffic towards it? Or...
is. It's called. It's me playing a live session with my band in an abandoned building.
I know which one you mean, yeah.
Yes, and it's us playing Dimensions. If you search Kitty Dimensions Live, it should come up.
It's worth searching.
It's nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah, we had Nathan Luke film it, and Kat McCabe came and did the projections and stuff. So it was super lovely actually.
Nice. What about your EP itself?
My EP itself is called All in Her Head, and it's under Kitty VR. But
Available on all
it's available
streaming
on,
platforms?
I think so, yeah. Definitely Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music. But yeah, that was recorded when I was 18. Well, some of the songs I wrote in there, I actually wrote when I was like 14, 15. So they're super old, but I'm still very proud of them. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that kind of wraps up this episode of Indie Tea Talks. I'd like to give a big thank you to Kitty
Thank you.
for gracing us with her time. And I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe on YouTube. Our Instagram handle is Indie Tea Talk, all one word with a little underscore line at the end of it.
Underscore line.
Yeah. And that's where we'll try and be a bit more on it than Kitty is, although I can't promise too many things.
I think I need to get someone to do my socials actually.
Well, that's no good because I was hoping you were going to do ours.
I was speaking to a guy recently and he was like, yeah, I've got someone do my socials. It's great. I was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Surely there's like an AI for that nowadays.
Yeah, it would just panic me though. Like, what are you posting and why are you posting it? And is it of me? No, thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks again, Kitty.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful. And until next time, keep listening and keep enjoying the magic of independent music. Cheers.
See you later.